This will definitely be my longest video I've ever made. It won't have any rants in it. It will just have stuff about reel-to-reels not working. Sorry about that. I've got the tubes for this. They're all, well, actually, I think I've got the rectifier inside. Oh, the rectifier's right here. What is it? 6S and 7s I've got inside then. Just 2 tubes. Transport has to come out. I've got to order new capacitors because they put a, I'm trying to think what side, I think it's this side that they put the whole amplifier with the bias oscillation coil and everything in it. Gotta go through, replace all the caps, so I've got to order more caps. I've just spent, for everything out here that I've had to recap, I've spent something like $65 in caps alone, and nothing's working at all out here. Gonna order about $15 more worth of caps for just this. 20 actually, after shipping. Sorry about the noise. Somebody's up weed whacking. Anyway, so yeah, that one's not even been tried. Okay, this machine. Got on eBay, paid $45 for it. The guy would never contact me. The shipping, basically, I paid $39 for it. So I complained to him. Anyway, he refunded all my money. I got to keep the unit. So I got a $50 unit for free. Pretty good. I used to have one of these machines years ago. Problem is that everybody loses is this. It's actually a knob that looks somewhat similar to this lever. And that's been lost on this, so they just put the stupid lawn shaft on it. Ooh, that's stuck on there now. There we go. That's how it's supposed to fit. So I've got this stupid thing. Yeah, I'll live with that. Probably cut it down, make a new one. This machine doesn't work either. Go ahead, you turn it on. Sounds quiet. That's good. I had to re-glue these back in place. The little pins that the door fits on because there's speakers inside, and like all Japanese reel-to-reels, a little tacky from the glue still, they use these to reflect the sound out. Interesting meter configuration. This is a binaural. It's got a binaural monitor on it. So it's stereo and binaural. It's got head shifting from 2 and 4 track. Pretty lazy way of doing it. Nothing fancy for heads. Go ahead, we'll put it into forward. That's rewind. That works pretty decent. Always has. And for forward, sounds terrible on the controller not moving, so that's not going far enough into it. It sounds horrible. A little bit funky with these big knobs, buttons. A little bit, yeah, like a toy or something, but it's okay. It's got CCIR and NRTB equalization. Pretty fancy, actually. Instantaneous stop. But it's a pretty nice reel-to-reel. I had one years ago, scrapped it because it was the hardest thing to ever work on. And so what I did was bought myself another one, which is basically in the same condition as the original one I had. Except this one's got the rare power cord that everybody loses, and it's like 10 feet long. It's got a 1/4 inch speaker output, so it's a good amplifier unit. It's all tube. Pretty nice. It's got the Sony tubes in it, I think. At least the original one I had did. Moving on. Radio alarm cell that I've never done a video on. Paid like $100 for it and had it delivered. Needs a little work, but I've cut on it before. Put the camera down like this, thread up this machine. I do apologize for that horrible camera work, but doing this one-handed isn't easy. Good God, now I got somebody using the lawnmower. This machine down here, I made a new handle for it. I gotta order a better one. Finally got the locking mechanism squared away. It didn't want to lock together too well before. This machine down here, I'm not going to fire it up in this video, but I'll give you a description of what happens with it. Basically, when you fire it up, it oscillates through the speaker, which is right here. That's all it does. I can't remember if I managed to get it to play tapes, but the oscillation was so bad that I had to turn it off, because even the volume control on it wouldn't stop the oscillation. So I don't know what was up with that. Go ahead, we'll turn this on. Turn this on. I've got the knob for it someplace. I don't know where it went. This machine was the damaged one, I think. Was it the damaged one? Hold on. Yeah, this was the damaged one. I pounded out the metal. Gonna see a little bit right there. Much better than what it was, though. So we've got it powered up. Select forward. And that's not even with putting the pinch roller in place. So basically I've got to cut the belt shorter for it. I think there's a guy that might supply that type of belt for this, but I just made up belts for it, so I guess maybe I'll order a new belt or something for it. But these are becoming money pits, so I'm trying to hopefully sell these I-cores off. As you know, I've got out here with everything, I've got probably $300 left parts that I need. Rewind doesn't really do anything. Take the tape out. The head's like it wants you to. Rewind's pretty poor. So I'm looking basically to get about, I can tell you, 65 bucks a piece. 70 bucks a piece would be 140, and I could do 100. Well, I put money into them, so I'm trying to think. Paid about, what did I pay for them? I paid $65. I think $5 for what I put into them is fair. So I think 2 for 140. Give somebody a break. If you bought 2, I could probably do 130. Save a couple bucks on them. I replaced the power cord and stuff because that was all rotted out. And then I replaced the belts. If you want to cut those down, glue them together. And basically, it was just O-ring that that I glued together. Somebody had suggested that, but you can actually buy the belts for these from VintageElectronics.net, I think it is. I think the guy's name's Bob, and he supplies belts. Front's been waxed up on this quite nicely. And one of these, well, if you buy both, I guess what I'll do is $130, I'll give you the kit. $75 for one gets you the kit. and the other one's just $70, I guess. $5 basically for the kit. It includes, I'll show you on the next machine, I've got 2 of these, and I've got another roller, I think. It spins nice and free, that's good. This machine, it's got the black one. Turn it on. Hear it humming away. Forward on this machine, I don't know if that's supposed to rotate or not. Maybe it just rotates with tape. Rewind also doesn't work. I have no idea why. That's pretty much it for that machine. Unplug it. So basically, the point is these are becoming money pits. You know, they'll be okay for somebody. They won't cost too much to get fixed up. Maybe $10 each or something, but the extra money that I'm going to put into them compared to having all these machines, I just don't have the time or the money to do it. $20 to repair 2. You know, I could spend $20 and have that machine all recapped, which it's done, but you get my point. Go ahead, I'll plug this. Let me set the camera down. That machine, that Sony I want recapped, it's going to take $50. That one's going to take, like I said, probably $20 to recap. I dump money in tubes, so I'm probably $50 in tubes alone. Trying to think, I'm probably a couple $100 into all these brush down mirrors. That's why I'm trying to get rid of these and kind of take care of getting the brushes finished. I want to sell those 2, the domestic and that one. And I got 2 of those, and I want to just keep the semi-pro ones. Just because I've got 2 of the same matching ones, it makes more sense to me. There's the back. Just had the amplifier out, so the plugs are still hanging up. This Sony I want to get rid of. Don't know what it's worth at the moment. Power cord's tight. Power cord doesn't fit tight, it's just I had that on the table without falling off. A non-detachable power cord. Problem is it's missing the play button. One of the contacts wired up to this, somebody had 2 of them twisted together, I don't know what that means. That one's the sensor. So, everything that functions actually quite nice. If that button was still there, it would be quite a nice machine, really. Counter still goes. Belt in it is good. Nice VU meters. They've got the arrowheads on them. I think that's pretty much that for that machine. If you've got a play button or an idea for it, let me know. See, it's all logic controlled. Nice machine. Dual cap stand, that's nice. Put that on that lot, and hopefully I'll be able to sell that off pretty quick. Like that. There's that box of spares for the Acors. All the screws for it. Take it through. I think that came with the Sony. Got the original caps for the machines. And here. Got the original mic for one of the brushes. No element in it. Somebody stole the crystal right out of it. Take a walk. This machine, the best operating brush. Like I said, the domestic case one, don't think I mentioned it, just has no function on it whatsoever. I don't know if the tubes are lighting up or not, because I haven't sat and checked that out yet. But I know it has no motor function at all. Fire this machine up. It's probably a bad cap, and I'm thinking. Forward, line just a little slack in it. Go to stop, it takes it right up. So it keeps the slack out, so it's actually a pretty well thought machine for editing. So put in forward, brings these up, start. It's going to be a bad cap. Because I think what happens when you're hitting that stop, I think it's sending extra voltage to the take-up motor. You're supposed to just hit it for a second until it gets up to speed, and then once you let go, I think it's supposed to run itself fine. Kind of has an odd smell to it, so it might be the cap. It's getting kind of leaky. Pretty much all I can tell you for this machine. It's pretty much all I know about it so far. Stop. Pretty nice machine though. I think this was built in 1945, 46 maybe. Somebody said that the brush-on mirrors weren't made until 1948, but all these stamps and these machines indicate otherwise. This, I think this runs 45 or 46. I know one of them I've got is like 45, late 45, after the war, which is quite surprising. Like I said, somebody said that the first machine came out in 48. It's kind of fascinating. So hopefully I can get these going. Got the original little washers that go over there on the screws. I had to replace this magic eye as it got shattered in shipping because Charlie's consignment shop is really stupid. Don't buy from that place. Trying to think, the tone's a little sticky. I think I've cleaned all the pots in here. Maybe I didn't. Maybe they're sealed. They might be sealed pots. Yeah, I think one of them was sealed. I think the tone controller or something was sealed. So that's all nice though. Functions quite nice. You know, I mean, this stuff is quite good. But, you know, if I could get that run, that would be great. Trying to think, I think that's pretty much all the reel-to-reel problems I wanted to talk about in this video. Like I said, the one brush on mirror oscillates every time you turn it on, and the other one just doesn't want to do anything. It just sits there. So I gotta check if it's even getting power to it, because it might be like a bad capacitor or something. Safety capacitor. Brand new, but you know, it might be shorted or something, so I don't know. So, I think that's pretty much it that I wanted to mention. Thanks for watching. Trying to think. I think this was the Reel Master that I'd asked. So, you know, if anybody else has any ideas. Take this out, I'll probably have to recap the transport on it. But, let's see what else could really go wrong. It's not belt driven, it's actually 3-motor. I don't know how this thing works, because really nothing that drives it. Nothing that holds it to it, so there's no spring or anything. So I don't know how that was supposed to work. Nothing really hooked to the back of it that would make it, stay rubbing up against the capstan. These capstans are cork. Kind of like a cork. I was told they're cork, but I guess that is cork, isn't it? Guess I'll have to replace that one day. It's gonna be difficult. Maybe I can replace it with rubber. Just scrape the cork off and glue some rubber on it. A rubber flat belt. Thanks for watching.